Yes, it's that time of year again, isn't it? Sponsored by La Chouffe. That's enough Christmas crap from me. Well, got a beer, just had the cigar, so now it's all stinky in here. That's courtesy of Anarchy. I haven't got my draft set up in the brew shed. That's in the house. I was going to do a side-by-side, although it's not actually an Erdinger clone, it's Erdinger-esque, of the wheat beer. It came out okay. I'll go through that on another video, I think probably a separate one. But I have had a few more bits turn up in the mail at last from the People's Republic. They done good sometimes. Sometimes actually better than buying something in the UK. So probably many of you know, Dude's Brew, Richard Williams, done a review on one of these. Sort of Inkbird's answer to the Thermo pen, which is auto power on when you open her up. You can hold and press that to do the calibration. The advantage is batteries are included, built inside, so you just charge it off the USB. You haven't got to worry about leaving alkaline batteries in and damaging it when you come to use it, which is why I've got a little ETI thermometer, which is sort of semi-professional sort of category, and I always take the batteries out because I use the cheap Poundland ones. And I will probably invest in some deep genuine Duracells because there are a lot of copies are about. But he done a review of this and mentioned that his link to Amazon. At the time, I'm on the Inkbird Facebook group, and there was a list of items and the dates that they were offering discounts on them. That there was 50% off. There was a little checkbox, and you ticked it, and it automatically added a discount code on your checkout. But when I went on, because I thought, well, I still don't want to spend 15 quid on one of these. I mean, they do a cheaper version, which is about £11, and you can buy a cheap, I think Cheshire Homebrew's just showing one for about £3-4, which do the job. So I didn't really want to spend 15 quid because I am tighter than a Scotsman with Yorkshire appearance. But they had on offer their Bluetooth 4 thermometer inlet. You get 2 thermometers with it, but it will take 4. It's a barbecue thermometer, so you can stick a probe in each animal that you're roasting and look on your phone, and it tells you what temperature they're doing. This retails at £39, I think. And I happened to notice that the offer was on that if you bought the pen and added this to your shopping basket, they discounted this down to free. And I thought, well, I'll just have a little play on the checkout, see if it actually does it, because it's unusual to get one discount and get something free. And for whatever reason, someone had it up. This was added to the box, your basket. So was this, and the price wasn't $14.99 or $98. It was $11.99. So I promptly mentioned this on his post. So a few of us got both of these for 12 quid. Others got this for half price, and some paid 20 because there was another discount, I think. But you lost out on this. So I haven't opened it yet. We do have a barbecue, but it's been returned to nature, shall we say. So whether that will get an outing or not, I don't know. Obviously, you know, the hillbilly brain was thinking, well, I'll stick that on eBay afterwards as an unwanted gift on the old flea bay and sell it, and it will pay for the thermometer and give me some beer money. But that was one bargain of the week anyway. But I have had the good old folks keeping the raw mail busy. I ordered 4 of these sort of knockoff John Guest taps. They're 3/8 push fit, 4 of those so that when I get the stainless fermenter in operation, if I am doing it in the summer, I've got an under-counter bar chiller that I can use the recirc pump in the cold bath to obviously use it in the chiller coil, and I can do similar to what Harry's done with his brew buckets in his pilot kit. And I'm going to use water, not glycol. I think they actually specify not to use glycol. Why, I don't know, but it's bloody expensive anyway. So I've got 4 of them, so 2 each end, so that I can isolate the supply, disconnect, and move the fermenter or whatever I need to do, move the equipment without having to drain out any pipes or having it all leak all over the floor. So I bought 4 of those. They weren't a bad price. Don't ask me what they were because I can't bloody remember. But I think they was £1.50, £2 each. I'm surmising. I've also got the some washers that go inside the cam locks and replace the black rubber ones that are alongside with silicone ones. They're quite expensive. I think they know they've got a bit of a captive market there. So I have bought these ones as an alternative. I haven't tried them yet because I'm in a bit of a pickle here, and the last thing I need to do is pull out a box full of stainless steel fittings. But I did buy these as an alternative, and they do work pucker. And also when you clamp down your fitting, these sort of compress to such a point that, you know, that hole there goes to about the size of your little finger. It reduces by about half the diameter. So I was just going to restrict the flow. These don't compress as much. So that's one added advantage. I don't know what they'll sort of report back on these ones. Got some more gaskets coming. They're still in the fly. I also bought another one of these. These are handy if you've got piped taps. They're sold as an aquarium tube cleaner. They're a couple of £3. I already used one. That one will fit in your dip tube of your corny keg. Maybe not this one because it might be a bit bigger than the one I've got back there. They look similar size. They're about, I think, 1.5 metres long. I think they're stainless because they haven't gone rusty yet. But they're double-ended like all good toys are. So that gives you, you know, you can put that in your ball valves, taps, and clean any gun jet. And this one will, it's a bit of a tight fit, but it will go down the dip tube of a corny keg and clean them out. And obviously if you've got drain hoses or sort of larger bore pipe work for your system, they will work to clean that out as well. So I bought another one because they're not going to last forever, and they are cheap enough that you can buy one and chuck it in your drawer so that you got one for Ron. Now I need to find a bag and drop it. Where's the last thing I need to be doing? It's bending down. I also bought, I've got one of these already. They're 26 inches by 20 or 20 inches by 26. Either way, they do one long way, I'm turning Chinese. Lingways or long ways. Like that. It's a bag for your mash. But I bought them to see what they're like because I may add them to my inventory to sell. They look bad quality for the money. Won't last forever, but what it does. But yeah, I sort of had a play around. I bought a few bits with the intention of sort of going in between the homebrew market where it's already saturated or you just can't compete on price. And I've known a couple of guys that have had a little go, and after less than a year they've sort of knocked it on the head. I'm not looking at earning a living out, but just supplementing my income. As some of you know, I had to go part-time for health reasons. So I need to earn a few pennies from the comfort of my home, not involving sort of heavy lugging about and handyman work like I used to, because I can't run the distance anymore. So I have sort of seen a hole in the market. So if you want to build a control panel, come and see me, because I am now Mr. Switch. The same ones that I use on my panel. They're basically a copy of the Telecommanic or Schneider Electric as they are now. So what I've got is the single ones like that, just a straight on off, or I've got the doubles, so you've got an on off on, so if you're doing your 2 elements or switching pumps you can use those. You do them at a reasonable price. The advantage I like over these ones and the plastic ones, they are modular as well, but these ones, now I've tightened it up, that bit goes behind your panel, you cut your hole, fit that through, do these 2 little screws up against the back panel and that holds in. If this switch fails you can unscrew it and replace it with another one. That's that easy. If you want a normally open one and you decide you want to change its use to normally closed, you can buy this module and reverse it. You can add another one to it. You can stack another one on it. I'll cover that in another episode, because on the electric blurry, Christ, I haven't even finished the beer yet, there is a add-on to the control panel that acts as an isolator, so that if you've left the element on and you turn the panel off and clean down and do everything, and then the next time you go to brew you turn the panel on and bang, you just blown your element, it actually runs the circuit around through a set of switches banked on top of your existing switches, so that it cannot activate or energize the elements unless they are in the off position, and that will enable you to turn the panel on and thus act as a fail-safe. So I've got the bits, some stage I'll add that to my panel, so I'll probably cover that. But that is the advantage with those switch modules, is you can change them or add them on. If they fail you can just buy another one. Also I bought these are from Kegland, the Australian outlet. It's a brew in the bag, because I have got another project sort of on the back burner that might involve one of these. So I've bought this and that other rink bird I showed the other week to do a build. At some stage, I'm not really in a hurry, I've got a shit ton of stuff to do, like completing the phase 1 brewery build, let alone starting another little project. But it's something I wanted to do. I think it's been covered before, but in most subjects that on YouTube. But like I say, I've got loads of other shit to be doing first. But you know, while the price is right, I bought them. I also took the plunge, and I did buy the kettle element, which I said was expensive. Because basically I sold a couple of bits, or sold a table today actually, made 30 quid profit, so it's basically paid for them. They sort of add on to that other tri-clamp fitting that I showed you on a previous one, which you just cut the 41mm hole in your kettle and it's like a bulkhead fitting, but it's tri-clamp, so that enables you to add a tri-clamp fitting on the outside. What this one is threaded all the way through. Now the other ones I had were NPS, these are BSP, so they will British Standard Pipe, but it's got the housing, so you screw your element on the inside. That thread is for your cover, and the big advantage, they've also got an earth tag on them as well, so this will replace the plastic one that I was going to put on the other kettle. Obviously I've drilled and fitted one already, so these would take up more room. And that bit's threaded as well, so you just pass your cable through the gland, terminate to your element, screw your housing on, slip this up, screw over your cable, and you can clamp down the gland. That'll grip the cable and make it watertight, and you've got a nice all-in-one housing. At the end of the brew day you can take the tri-clamp off, pull this out, clean your element separate, put an end cap on your fitting, take your kettle outside and hose it down without hosing down your trousers at the same time with the holding kettle. So that was a reluctant purchase, but I did like them, and no one else seems to sell them. There's only one other company on there that sells them only with the elements, and they're obviously another 20 quid more because you're buying the element as well. Right, I'm running out of breath and my mouth's getting dry. Probably the cigar. They're not as nice as I remember them. So yeah, to go along with the project, I bought another one of these. I did buy one to fit potentially to the mash pot, which they're quite nice because they've got all the little you know, temperature readings you need to be for sparge and mash in and mash out. And a guy used to have a brewery parts business. He gave up when I think he got divorced, so he sold up the bits. I was tempted to buy them, but it was too far for me to drive. And one of the guys on Facebook and on our Brew Bay Facebook selling group did buy this kit off of him, so I contacted him to see if he'd still got any of these left, which he had, and he'd done me a decent price on them. So if you need one of these, contact Rob Hadfield on Facebook. He's on the BrewTube official and or Brew Bay. Give him a PM, and he has got an eBay page, but obviously no point in involving them and giving them scumbags 10% of postage and 10% of the sale. And he was very generous because he knows I like to poodle and tickle a bait, and he sent me a an extension, a slightly bigger hop filter, which may find a use in the project. So that was quite handy and very nice of him to send that. In addition, he also sent a couple of fittings, a couple of half-inch couplings, and one of them you'll find them in the false bottoms, but you can use these on your kettles for recirc, whirlpool, and a little elbow as well. So sort of bits and pieces he's just got left over, so he's good enough to chuck them in the bag. So thank you, Rob. So I can pack them in, and that done me a turn. So I've got all these bloody bags everywhere now. I've already bought another one. So I've still got the indicator lights I'm waiting for. I bought a bulk purchase of the panel lights in various colours that we tend to use. I've also got the beepity beep 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 ones, the red flasher and buzzer. They're all 240 or 220, the stuff I'm using. I weren't going to diversify into 12 volt as well for everybody. Also the mechanical reset switch for your timers, you know, momentary contact. Got those as well, and I didn't go for the key switches because they're quite expensive for what they are. But I did find something that some people had an emergency stop button. I didn't bother with mine because obviously you got the key switch anyway. But this one combines both, an emergency stop and a key switch, if I get it in the right way around. Works on the same principle. They're all copies of the Schneider Electric, but a hell of a lot cheaper. So it works on the same method. These work better actually with something against them. Obviously to reset them you just have to turn the key, pull out. You can remove the key or leave it in, but if you want to turn it off you need to take the key out, unless you like to stab your hand with the key. But you just push them in, switches off, they won't pull back out, so that makes them kiddie proof. Once you remove the key they can't be turned back on. And a reset, you just put the key in and turn it and it pops out, you're ready to go. So it sort of kills two birds with one stone in one way. So I bought them in as an alternative. So I haven't sort of planned where I'm going to sell these yet. I'll probably start once I've got the other bits, because no doubt people will say, well, I want this and that, and I won't have it. So I'm not doing anything until I've got all my bits. But obviously I don't expect to be a millionaire out of it. But I'll plough it back in and buy some more bits and diversify, and if it works. If it don't, as long as I break even and put back in my wallet what I've spent, I ain't lost nothing apart from time, and that's free. So I think that is about it. I'll cover the berry side on another one. Anyway, I'll probably do one later in the week because I'm off now, as my part-time days conveniently full. I would have been in work Monday, which I was. Off Tuesday, they were finishing early, but I've been off all day. Obviously Christmas Day, Boxing Day I would have been back at work, but I'm off because it's bank holiday. Friday's my day off, so I get Saturday, Sunday, and then back to normal Monday. Then I'm off Tuesday. then it's bank holiday. So it works reasonably well. Wasn't that a coincidence how what days I decided to go? Cheers and beers, I'll see you on the next one. And be good, and if you're not going to be good, don't give me your real name. Toodaloo!